Morocco, known for its bustling markets, delicious food, and desert landscapes, is also home to a coastline full of charming seaside towns. What started out as a beautiful road trip down Morocco's western coast quickly turned into a chaotic disaster, with news of the new Omicron Coronavirus variant and Morocco closing all borders to the outside world. This is my story. What is up, guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I am in Essaouira, Morocco, which is my first stop along my road trip down Morocco's western coast. And maybe it's just me, but when I think of Morocco, tranquil, beautiful beachside towns is definitely not the first thing that comes to mind. So I am really excited to be discovering a new side to the country of Morocco. Located about 2 to 3 hours west of Marrakech is the town of Essaouira, which is most known for its huge fishing port and its beautiful medina to explore. So today I'm going to be taking you guys around with me as I explore the town of Essaouira, Morocco. I have walked across the beach and I've made it to the biggest port here in Essaouira, and something doesn't feel right. It smells a little fishy. Nope. Okay. Well, right behind me are tons of people loading and unloading fish, and you can see people packing fish, packing ice, and there is a crazy amount of seagulls here. I've never seen anything like it. But there are tons of different types of fish that go in and out of this port every single day, and there's also a market section right by the port, so let's go head there now and see what kind of fish they're selling today. Right behind me, there are tons of people selling all different types of fish, and tons of locals will come here to buy their fish, to get some nice fresh fish for a good meal. And you can also come and buy some fish and then actually pay a restaurant to cook it for you. So another really nice option. I have made it inside the Medina here, which is the old town here in Essaouira, and there are a ton of different sections of the Medina, a lot of narrow alleyways. This section here seems to be a lot of produce. You have some eggs, fruits, vegetables, a ton of other food, and there are also some other sections of the Medina where you have a lot of souvenirs, trinkets, clothes, and it's really, really beautiful. And one thing I like about the Medina here is that compared to many others like Marrakech and Fes, it is not close to as hectic, and you don't have as many people heckling you and hassling you. Of course, you still have some people trying to sell you stuff because that's how they make their living, but let's explore the Medina. Got myself a nice little pomegranate juice here for 15 dirham, which is a little more than $1.50 US, and it seems like I just can't go a day here in Morocco without a good pomegranate juice. There are just tons of beautiful streets here in the Medina, like this one that's lined with tons of different carpets and so many different colors. Super, super beautiful. Among the windy, narrow roads of the Medina are actually a lot of people's homes. And a lot of people actually live here inside the Medina, so it's not just a market where you can buy things, but it's actually where people live. An Interesting fact about Essaouira is that there are a lot of hippies that used to come here, so it's known as a little bit of a hippie and artsy town. So walking through the Medina, you can find all different types of really cool and interesting art installations. But the sun is gonna set soon, so it's time to leave the Medina and head to our good sunset spot. I've made my way back towards the port, and this is where we're gonna watch sunset right on the water with all these birds. It looks a little cloudy, but I'm confident that we're gonna have a really good sunset. Good morning, guys, and welcome to Imsouane, Morocco. Located about 2 hours south of Essaouira is the tiny laid-back town of Imsouane. To start off my day, I went to a little seaside coffee truck to grab a quick cup of coffee for about 85 cents US, which is a little bit of the hippie, quirky side of Imsouane. And now I'm walking right outside the main town on one of the many sand paths that runs along the ocean with beautiful rock formations. You can hear the waves crashing. It's super, super beautiful. So check this out. Wow, this coastline is absolutely beautiful. I had no idea. I did not expect this. I knew Imsouane to be a tiny little town good for surfing, but the coastline is incredible. I'm getting dangerously close to the splash zone here, so I'm gonna move away and we'll continue on. So here you can see all the surfers in the water. This is one of the surf points. And then this is the town of Imsouane. It actually looks a little bit bigger than it feels, but let me go show you guys around now. So this is pretty much the town center. There's a little plaza here with some surf shops, some cafes, some restaurants, really tranquil, really calm, right on the ocean.
Hello from Imsouane, south of Morocco. Welcome. Where you come from?
USA.
Ah, USA, American. I'm Moroccan. I'm a Moroccan. He's American. So it's the same, you know.
Keep smiling and be happy, and you are welcome in Imsouane.
Shukran. So other than that one little square in the middle of town, there are just a couple little markets to get some basic food, fruits, vegetables, but there's no ATM in Imsouane and there's no big supermarket, so just be prepared. I'm gonna pick up a couple little fruits and veggies here at the little market. So this is what the little supermarkets look like here. You have your fruits and vegetables, some dry goods, and then some soaps, and some of your other basic stuff. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much the town of Imsouane. You just have that one little square and then a handful of little markets and little restaurants to get some food and all of your basic necessities. And now I have walked to the other side of town to an area called the Bay, which is a famous surf spot because on a good day it has one of the longest waves in all of Morocco. It's also really good to learn how to surf because they are beginner-friendly waves. And here in Imsouane, that's what drives most of the people to come here. There are two main surf spots, the Cathedral and the Bay. And so in a couple hours, I'm gonna hit some surf.
Someday we will
Now it's time to shred some waves.
And our hearts will be whole again. I want to remember
guys, I'm in Imsouane. To put things into perspective, it is November 30th, and 3 days ago the world heard about this new coronavirus variant called Omicron, and then 2 days ago Morocco announced that they're closing all inbound and outbound flights. As of yesterday, giving us about 12 to 24 hours notice. Not enough time for me to realize, book a flight, and get out of the country. So as of now, I'm locked in Morocco for at least 2 weeks, but I do have a flight booked that hasn't yet been canceled. The only problem is it leaves in a couple hours. It's before sunrise. I'm in this tiny sleepy town and I have no way to get there, so I'm going to try to figure out if there's a way that I can get to the airport to catch a flight to Spain, because I don't want to be stuck in Morocco for a very, very long time, because right now it's just 2 weeks, but that could end up being many months. So let's see if I can get there or if I'll end up in Morocco. About 30 minutes later, I found a really nice local who made a couple calls and ordered a taxi for me. But unfortunately, I just checked, and as of 2 minutes ago, my flight has been canceled. So it looks like I'm gonna be in Morocco for a little longer. So since I am now officially stuck in Morocco for at least 2 weeks, I might as well try to enjoy myself. So I'm gonna get a little coffee and then watch the sunrise. So a couple hours have passed and I've thought it through, and I think I'm going to try to leave Morocco as soon as possible. Supposedly all flights in and out of the country are canceled for the next 2 weeks, but who knows how much longer that could last. So I'm going to try to catch an emergency flight out of Casablanca, which is the biggest city here in Morocco. So I am going to try to hitchhike and bus my way out of Imsouane, which is a really small town, and currently there are no cars, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get out of the town, but wish me luck. Alright, so we got a ride to the main road. Shukran. Alright, so I got my first ride, which is going to take me to the big road, and then from there I'm going to try to get another ride back to Essaouira, and then hopefully from there a bus to Casablanca. So let's see if I can do it all today. So we've stopped along the way to pick up someone else. Back. Shukran. Alright, so I ended up getting a ride to the main road here, and he ended up asking for a little money, so I gave him 10 dirham, which is a little more than $1 US. That's the only small change I had, and hopefully I can hitch a ride to Essaouira now. Alright, so I found a bus that'll go to Essaouira. Bislama. I have no idea. I'm on the bus and I had to bargain for the price. I ended up paying 40 dirham, which is a little more than $4 US, and this is going to take me all the way to Essaouira, which is probably going to take around 2 hours or so, and then from there hopefully I can get to Casablanca and ideally get an emergency flight out of Morocco, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Alright, so I've made it to Essaouira. Essaouira. This one. Alright, so I might be getting another bus to Marrakech. To Marrakech? Alright, the bus is moving. And to Marrakech? Yeah? Okay. No? I just got off the bus here in Marrakech and I'm back in the absolute craziness and hecticness, and there's been a little bit of a change of plans as per usual with the last 24 hours, and I'm staying here tonight, but I don't have a place booked, so I'm gonna find a place to sleep, get there, and then I'll catch you guys up on what's happening. This is exactly what it's like to be back in Marrakech. Absolute craziness. Alright guys, so a lot has happened. Let me fill you in. I am in Marrakech in a little room in a riad, and I have booked a flight leaving tomorrow morning from Marrakech to Paris, France. Supposedly, Air France has a couple of emergency flights out of Morocco to France, and from what I've been told, French citizens do have priority, so I'm not quite sure I'm even going to be able to board the flight, but I really just can't risk being stuck in Morocco for who knows how long. Currently, Morocco has said their borders are closed for 2 weeks, but thinking back to the beginning of coronavirus almost 2 years ago, Morocco's borders were shut for many months. So with that, I really hope I can get out of the country tomorrow, even though I do love Morocco, because I booked a way too expensive flight. So if you like this video, hit the like button, because that flight was not cheap. But anyway, I'm going to grab a quick meal, head to bed early, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow morning to see if we get on our flight to France. Alright, my flight is still scheduled and on time, so it's time to head to the airport. Alright, so I just made it to the airport, and I made it here 3 hours early, which is the earliest I would ever come to an airport, but I could not get my boarding pass online, so it makes me a little nervous, so I wanted to come super early just to make sure everything's okay. Yes. Okay, thank you. We got a boarding pass! Let's go, I'm so excited. Oh, what a relief. I think that means I can get on the flight now. Thankfully, I've made it to Paris, and what an insane last 24 hours this has been. So I'm going to end the video here, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below for weekly travel vlogs, and I will see you guys next week.